I am very, very particular about the next level of security architecture, which is the state governors. The state governors are the CEOs of a state, and they have the money, the security vote to use. How are they using the security vote? I would like to quote.
Are they supposed to account for how they're using the security vote?
You see.
No, let's know.
When they are beneficiaries of funds, they don't account. They made it possible that whatever the security vote is,
they cannot account.
No, they don't account for it. Why on earth is it your money? This is the people's money. That is the beginning of the decadence I'm talking about. That is the beginning of what got us into this mess. That is the recklessness I am talking about. That was when I ran an inference to a governor who said, we blew 35 billion. I'll tell you this. There was an ex-governor who said one thing earlier. Let me mention his name, Fashola. Fashola said, at times we'll look towards the federal government for things that are the purview of state government.
Or even council chairman.
Or even council chairman. We sat back as a group. We sat back and looked at it like, what is this man saying? The man made a lot of sense. Let me run an inference to Lagos. Lagos is prone to armed robbery because it's a commercial center. But Lagos State, in his wisdom, was able to put together a trust fund for the police, where it was possible to arm them, not necessarily arm them, at least mobilize them enough to be at every nook and cranny. So armed robbers know if I rob here, there is no way I will get out of this place. That is what I call being hands-on in terms of security. But in other places, all they do, I run an inference of the governor who was beneath on the panel. He said there are instances, even by the time the money trickles down to the LGs and the councillors, all they do with the funds is just come, pick up the funds.
Off they go. Now, when the Chibok issue happened, 2014.
Yes.
There was an initiative established by the then government, and of course, we expect that it continues with this Safe School initiative.
That's right.
So, what has happened to that?
For mentioning Safe School, I remember the man, ex-British Prime Minister, Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown weighed in on it, gave advices, lobbied for funds for us to use and this and that. But there's an extent to how we can manage that. You see, if we do Safe School, the number one thing is to put a perimeter wall, fencing around the schools. Let's come back to today. If Kankara had been fenced, would it have stopped them? The answer is no. If we had posted 1 or 2 military men there, 2 armed men there, would it have stopped them? The answer is no. They would have just killed them for nothing. So
but it wouldn't have been easy.
Kidnapping
the schoolboys wouldn't have been easy.
It wouldn't have been easy, but we would have made cannon fodder out of the 1 or 2 security. How many do you want to put in a school? Even if you put 6, they have been doing their own research.
Yeah, you know, when you have some security personnel deployed to a particular sport,
I agree.
There is some kind of communication.
That's right. That whenever it is happening, it will
they can now call for backup.
In the case of Kankara, I will ask you as a layman, wasn't there a call for backup? There was. 3 hours, they were there. That is enough time to call for backup. Within that 3 hours, out of the 800 plus kids, some of them escaped home. Their parents have telephones. That's enough call for backup. But all we didn't have the backup. Even as we speak, I am still sad that they took them that far. And there is no, for all I care, we're still getting closer. They are going in front, we're coming behind them, and then we're doing what we're doing. But like I was saying in the case of what Fashola said, the governors, you have to give us an answer. It's quite easy for you to wake up and go to Abuja, come to Abuja and collect funds and go back home and call yourself the CEO, chief executive. What are you managing? My brother, let us tell them to their faces. you owe us 1. What are you managing as the security chief of that state? You have meetings once a week. You have the military man there. If there's an Air Force personnel in that state, he's there. If there's a Navy man there, it is there. If they're all DSS, he's there. They are all there with you. You meet at least once a week. What do you discuss? Do you just drink tea and walk off? That is why I am throwing the book on the table of all the state governors. It is high time you do the right thing.
You are saying the book should be on the table of the state governors. So what would you have the lawmakers do?
You see, it's part of what I have in mind today. Thank you for bringing it up. In the states, all the houses of assembly are just plain rubber stamps. They don't, for all I care, for all I know, they are not delivering. You know why I'm saying this? Armed robbery, what's the punishment? Capital. It's the capital. Are we that of non-thinkers to look at armed robbery means using arm to take my money or take my car? Now the third one is kidnapping. You know what they do? You have taken my person, which is worse than taking my money or taking my car. What is the penalty for kidnapping? You know what? What is the penalty for kidnapping? I expect states to start behaving like federating units. And that has never happened in Nigeria. It only happened about once or twice. The first person that did that was Ahmed Tinubu, who said the population of Lagos is close on 20 million. How come I will operate with just 20 LGs? The man created 37 extras. The pastor just said he should not be giving his money. The man said, so be it. There is no way I can operate with 20 and on close to 20 million people. At the end of the day, other states are copying it because it is viable and tenable. It is
and easy to govern the states.
Easy to govern. It's high time the states and the houses of assembly should stop. I am telling you, speakers of the houses, stop being rubber stamps. Start enacting laws that makes you a federating unit. Let it be on record that, if you come to this state, you're going to suffer 10 years for this anomaly. If you go to that state, it is 5 years. If you go to this state, that is what is called a federating unit. Let a situation occur where you now said if you kidnap a human being, it's the same thing as armed robbery. You are robbing something that is higher than money, something that is higher than a car. You're robbing a human being. So it is capital. There was a time a governor in Edo State said, if you are caught kidnapping, I wouldn't mind signing your death warrant so you can be hung easily. You know what happened? For 6 months or 9 months, there was no kidnapping in Edo. The kidnappers waited until the culprit got out of Edo State before they picked them up. They are not that stupid. It's high time you enact laws that safeguards your people. How will somebody just wake up, come in through the bush and go into your town, kidnap somebody and kill the person even after collecting the money, and you as a state governor, you are there seated complaining that you are waiting for the army to come? Where is that our money that you call security vote? Where is that Zulu attitude of being there where it's happening? That's why I want you guys to go to Zulu school. Where is that attitude of being there where it is happening? Zulu was not scared when he was shot at. He went back there.